We're back on Smells Like 90's Rock.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. We're
Rock
back.
and roll.
So something weird happened to me last night
Ooh.
What's that?
on the other radio station. So, we get requests every so often on the air, and a couple of people called in and wanted to hear Panic at the Disco. Fine, I played Panic at the Disco. Then these two girls kept calling in for the better part of 2 hours. Now, my shift starts at 7 and ends at midnight. From 7 to 9, they called in numerous times, asking for the same thing over and over. Now,
Was it Bieber Desperado?
No.
Oh.
Despacito.
Well,
There you
I
go.
don't know. hate that
I think it's weird that you knew that, but
What?
Pork,
I didn't.
That you knew that song, that you knew the name of that song.
I hate that song.
I hate it
Okay.
too. Well, it's been overplayed, people.
I didn't like it when it even first came out.
It was interesting when it first came out. Now it's like, okay, what's next? Keep going, whatever. But anyway, so they kept calling in, and the song that they were requesting was Something Different by Why Don't We?
Okay.
They kept saying, would you play Something Different by Why Don't We? And they kept calling in over and over. And when they first started doing it, I couldn't really understand what they were saying because it was kind of muddled on the phone. I was like, okay, whatever, we'll get it on, It was like, whatever. But
Keep listening, and you figure they'll get bored and stop listening before you get to it.
Because usually if you can't understand them, it's probably something we don't play. And sure enough, that was the case. But they kept saying, play Something Different by Why Don't We? And when I first finally understood it, I did check our files, and we didn't have it. But then I thought, wait a minute, they're prank calling me. Because the other station that I work for has a reputation of playing the same songs over and over and over until people get sick of them.
Why don't we play something different?
Exactly. See, that's what I was doing. They're prank calling me because they're saying, play Something Different by Why Don't We? Why don't we play something different? So that's what I was thinking. Okay, so you're just messing with me. So finally, after, like I said, almost 2 hours of this, they called, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to have some fun with this, because I came up with...
Did you Google it?
No. Well, we'll get to that. I came up with a bit in my head. I was like, I have an idea if they call back, and sure enough, they did. And what I ended up doing was they called and asked for the song, and I said, I don't know, let me put you on hold. And then I came back on as somebody from the podcast. His name's D.A. Williams. He's a very, very southern redneck. And then I asked them, what is it they wanted to hear? They told me again. I said, I don't know. Hold on. Let me put you on hold. Came back as Ollie. And then,
Lord.
And then I asked them what they wanted. They told me what they wanted to heard play. I say, I don't know. Let me put you on hold. Came back as myself. This went on for the better part of 2 minutes. They never got off the phone. They just kept with me it was just between the three of us, me, D.A., Ollie. They never got off the phone. They started saying, don't put me on hold. Please don't put me on hold. And I was like, okay, hold on.
They can hang up.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to.
He's like, would you please don't put me on hold? Would you play the song? I don't know. Let me put you on hold. And then I would and then I would come back as somebody else. And I recorded the whole thing, and I have it on my computer. It was a great bit. It was hilarious. And after it was over, they didn't call back. And my brain starts doing the one thing I hate. It starts to wander. It starts to think. And I start wondering. I wonder.
The one thing that you hate it does, think.
Yeah. Well, start wandering, like thinking about.
Down the rabbit hole thinking.
Like, did I do the right thing? And then I started thinking, what if that group was real? So I went on Google. I typed in, Why Don't We? Sure enough, it's a little boy band that pops up on my phone. And the first single that pops up in their list, Something Different. So there's a group called Why Don't We? And their single, Something Different. So I felt a little bad, but I still thought it was the best thing I could have done because they wouldn't stop calling, and obviously
and you don't have it.
And I even looked. We didn't have the song. This boy band was formed last year, so they don't have anything out yet. They don't have anything popular, but somehow they came across it. But stations aren't really playing them yet, and because I did the research on them, nobody's really they're not they're just out there. They're not big yet, and so we don't have them. And usually, if we don't play something that you request within like an hour or two of it, probably not going to get played. So it doesn't matter how many times you request it.
How old were these girls, do you think?
Oh, teenagers at least, for sure. But yeah, it's like they just kept on and on. So I did the bit, and the bit was hilarious. It was a lot of fun to do, but yeah,
They're probably preteens.
I felt kind of bad in the end, but just a little bit because it was still funny.
You prank call 12-year-olds.
Well, I thought they were prank calling me, so I was counter pranking them. But as it turns out,
No, they were being for real.
It was being for real. So the prank didn't.
Oh,
It didn't pan out, but it was still funny. I still had fun doing it, and nobody complained the next day, which was good which I was happy about.
yeah, because they were teens.
Yeah, I was afraid, but they were laughing. They were when I was putting them on hold, they started laughing, so they were having fun with it too.
They're fine.
They knew I was just
You
messing
didn't
with
They're
them.
not
Scar them.
traumatized.
No,
Yeah.
they knew I was just messing with them because I thought they were messing with me. They probably realized that they were getting on my nerves, and so that's probably why they stopped calling after that. But
Or they went to bed.
or they went to bed. It was about 9 o'clock right around this time when it
Bedtime.
happened. Yeah, so
Yeah, we discussed this last week.
Mhm.
Bedtime.
You're all weird. That's right, and that's what screwed you over, Sheila. I believe that you had bedtimes when you were a kid. I never had bedtimes, and I'm fine.
No.
That's what screwed you up.
Now you sleep 14 hours
You
a day.
sleep 14 hours a day, and I don't have sleep problems. You were going to ask me.
I do.
I don't have regular sleep problems. However, I'm taking some new medicine, and I'm still trying to get used to it, so it has kind of screwed up my sleeping patterns. But other than that, no, I usually get pretty good sleep. Around 6 to 7 hours a night, at least. Not 14.
That is only on my special days.
Special days.
15 to 16.
Go to
No,
bed at 1 in the morning, wake up
14.
at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. That's your special days?
My special days, yes.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Most of the time, I'm probably up before you guys are.
Probably, yeah.
Well, to take Adrian to school,
Yeah.
I mean that's normal, yeah. But
I might still be awake when you wake up
yeah,
sometimes.
There you go.
yeah. I've been there before. Yeah,
That's just because it's not for lack of trying.
no,
I
just
promise.
been laying there. Like while we were on vacation, I went to sleep around 1, very tired, fell asleep, and then I woke up around 3 and was up till 6.
I forgot my book. You all were supposed to do my read.
Yeah.
Next week,
We'll do it next week. We'll do this.
you'll have to stay late and read.
Insouciant.
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 Yeah, these are going to be words that
plum.
we don't know.